Hello everyone, my name is Keith, and for today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to work on Inkscape in creating a logo as well as choosing a font style as well as a font family for your particular project logo for that matter. Now for those of you who don't know what Inkscape is basically a free and open source vector graphics editor which allows you to create or edit vector graphics such as an illustration, diagram, line arts, charts, logos, and even complex paintings. Now for purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to change the interface default page, which is this square box right here in Inkscape, and work on your logo in particular, and show you how to change the color scheme for your font family as well as your drawing when you create a vectorized image. Now, first thing I'm going to do is going to change this particular square box into a more even length setting. So what I'm going to do now is go over to File, and then I'm going to scroll down to Document Properties, and from there, as you can see on the right hand side, I'm going to change the width and height of the custom size, which is located right here. First thing I'm going to do is going to click inside this box and hit the backspace 3 times, and I'm going to change the width to about 300, and then I'm going to click and press enter, and as you can see the width changes the way I want it to be set, and for the height I'm going to do the same thing as well. So I'm going to click inside this box, hit the backspace button 3 times, and click 300 as well. Then press enter, and as you can see the height is adjusted so my box is more evenly matched up for the width and height for the purpose of this tutorial. So now I can exit out of the document properties. So I'm going to click on this red box right here. Now for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to work. I'm working on a particular design for a project for a few friends of mine, and I'm going to show you how to edit that particular image into a more vectorized style that allows you to change the color scheme of that image. So first thing I'm going to do is go over to File again, and next I'm going to click on the word Import. And as you can see, I have some styles in mind that I want to work on. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to click on Logo for Inkscape number 2, and this allows me to preview this image right here on what I want to work on right for now. So I'm going to click Open. And as you can see, before it allows me to open that particular image, I have to set some parameters for that particular image. So I'm going to leave these settings the same for now because the image is what I want to work on for now. It's very basic for this tutorial. So I'm going to click OK. And as you can see, the image is popped up, and I want to work inside the square box using this particular image. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the arrow key to drag it up inside the box. So I'm going to simply hold down the mouse pad and scroll up using that mouse pad, and as you can see, it goes inside the box, and it's more in line with the settings I made for before I start working on it. Now I want to make it more centralized in this inside the box. Before I can actually work on that, I want to make it a vectorized image. By vectorized, I mean by a more imported style that allows me to work on a bold setting, allows me to change the color scheme a little bit and make it more appealing to my viewers. So what I'm going to do now is go up here where it says Path, and I'm going to scroll down to where it says Trace Bitmap Image. And as you can see, it has a few different parameters I want to work on, and allows me to work on the brightness cutoff, the edge detection, even the color quantization. But I'm not going to worry about these two for now. I'm going to work on the brightness cutoff right now. And as you can see, this threshold is pretty basic, so I'm going to make it, pulling it up to maybe a 5. Okay. That allows me to make it more bolder in this, with the brightness cutoff. That allows the image to be more bold in a sense. So I'm going to click on Live Preview right here and leave the rest of the settings the same. And as you can see, this is what it's going to look like before I upload it into my Inkscape page. So I'm going to click OK. And as you can see, the image is uploaded and it's more vectorized. So now I can exit out of here by clicking the red X. And now that this image is inside, I want to remove the original image, making sure that I don't make any mistakes on the vectorized image. So what I'm going to do now is scroll over to the arrow of my vectorized image and hold down the mouse pad right here and scroll to the left, and I'm moving the original image out of the way. And now that I've moved it, I can simply hit the backspace button and it's gone. So now I can go right back into this vector image and make sure that the arrows is on the image, and I'm going to click on there by moving this around. And you notice that the arrows is inside this particular image right here. That is because I'm using this arrow setting right here. It allows me to move it around along inside the box so that I can make this arrow, this image bigger, smaller, even more wider or narrow for that matter. And like I said, I'm going to keep this as very basic as possible for this tutorial. So I'm going to change the setting a little bit and move it up to about right here and make it more centered all inside the box. Okay, now that I've done that, I want to change the color a little bit to make it more appealing in a sense. So I'm going to scroll down to my paint area right here where these colors are down here. I'm going to make it a bit green. So I'm going to click on the green, and there it is. It changes from black to green. Now I want to change. Now I want to work on the title of my logo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click out of here, and next I'm going to scroll over to my toolbar right here, and I'm going to scroll all the way down to where this A is right here. This allows me to create and edit text objects by creating a particular wording for that matter. And I'm going to go right inside here. And the good thing about this is it allows me to write anywhere inside this box. I can write it above or even inside as well, this image. But for now, for this particular tutorial, I'm going to type inside here, and I'm going to type the word in all caps that I'm using. You can either hit the caps lock or the shift key. I'm going to use the shift key. I'm going to type the word fly space L space then away. And down here, I'm going to click right here. I'm going to type the word zone. Now, as you notice that as I was typing, the lettering was spacing out, and the word flyaway and zone is not where I want it to be. So what I can do right now is I'm going to go back to my arrow key right here. And as you can see, the word zone is recognized, and I'm going to move that one by clicking and dragging it over to the right a little bit. And I'm going to use the arrows to make this a little bit more longer, or I can make it upside down if I want to. But for now, I'm just simply going to make it a little bit longer in length and a bit more wider, so it makes it that big. And I'm going to work on my flyaway right here by clicking on the word flyaway with the arrows. And I'm going to pull that over to the right. So I'm simply going to drag it by clicking and holding down with my mouse pad and moving towards the right. Okay, now I can make this a little bit more bigger. There we go. And I can still move my logo around, making that a little bit more down here. And let's run the zone. Move that one down a little bit right here. Okay. Now, as you notice that I worked on the word zone and flyaway, but I want to make the font family different. So what I can do now is go over to my A arrow right here, and once I click on that, you notice that the font family is selected. What I can do now is hit the shift and left arrow key to highlight the word zone and change that font family into a more appealing font family. So I'm going to click on this black arrow right here. It allows me to choose a different font family for that particular image that I want to work on my title. So what I can do now is select a different one, and let's try Bakersville Old Face. And as you can see, it changes to Bakerville Old Face. I'm going to do the same thing for flyaway. So I'm going to click on this arrow right here, and I'm going to click on flyaway, as you can see, and I'm going to choose a font family, and I'm going to click shift and the left arrow to highlight the word flyaway. The sans serif font is the default, so I'm going to change that one. I'm going to scroll all the way up. and I'm going to choose Bakerville Boldface, and there it is. Now let's say I want to change the color of that particular font family for my title. I can simply do that by going down here and choosing a different color scheme, and I'm going to click on this D45500, and there it is. It changes right there. I can go down to my zone, highlight that as well by hitting the shift and the right arrow, and change that as well to 4550. It's more of a bright orange yellow kind of color, and there it is. And that's basically how you work on your particular logo in Inkscape, for that matter. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial as much as I have, and I hope you guys do a little bit more in the future. Until then, happy trails and happy creativity.